live streaming is on.
Super. Live streaming is on. Here we go. Cool. I don't see the camera. Boo. There we go. Okay. I see the camera now. It looks like we're live streaming. I just want to explain this live stream very quickly. This is to give our interns some help using GitHub and VS Code and doing the things they want to do this summer as far as building software and packages and apps for our website. I got a few questions on how do we start our branch? How do we get the code? How do we do the things we want to do and update the GitHub repo? So I'm going to hop in here very quickly. I'm going to share some screens. Let's try this. I'm going to start by sharing this screen right there. Dun dun dun. Cool. So this is GitHub. This is our repo, our GitHub organization, the Lift and Shift Foundation. I'm just going to go straight into the repos. Going to go to the play subdomain. Here's all the code here. At this point, you can download the code. Like download a zip file of all the files. You can work on that locally. You can set that up in your thing. I use GitHub Desktop because it does things like it keeps me from some management, command line management. It has a lot of features. So I'm actually just gonna. I've already got this set up, so I can't. It's hard for me to show you this, but I'm gonna bounce around between screens. So I'm gonna go to, let's see, GitHub Desktop. Let's bounce to that screen right there. So this is GitHub Desktop. This is what it looks like. If you install GitHub Desktop, you can obviously use that button to open with GitHub Desktop, and from the GitHub website, it will try to open this, and you'll be able to see it. And once you're here, you can open in Visual Studio Code with this button. You can look at the files in Explorer. You can change branches. You can see old branches because obviously I have things. You could start a new branch right here. And you can manage all of your pull requests and everything right here in GitHub. If you don't want to do it this way and install this app, here, we're going to back up. We're going to stop sharing this window. Maybe. And we're going to go to Visual Studio Code. There we go. Okay, so the extension I used to use in VS Code was the GitHub repositories extension. There's some things it doesn't do for me, so I opted for GitHub Desktop because I didn't want to go, like I said, I didn't want to go into a lot of command line type stuff. So this is also here. If you are an intern with us, I highly recommend applying to the GitHub Education platform and using Copilot and Copilot Chat to kind of like help you with if you need stuff you don't understand yet, especially if you want to touch any of the things that are like a different language like PHP. That kind of stuff is super helpful. This one didn't really do a lot for me either, but look for the package that is made by GitHub or Microsoft, those things, because a lot of people will make their own packages like this one by Matt Berner. I don't know Matt, but in the past there people are able to work malware into the extensions. So make sure you're looking for something that's verified. I did use the GitHub repositories. Once you get here, you will see this little source control thing, and you will see that you can see all of the changes. Like I did this live with people. I did this live with our team, just as an example. And so you can see I changed one file. I changed the lines of code. I added that those comment lines just to show people how to do this. So at this point, you can start a new branch from here. If you look at this, you can create a new branch right here. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to create a new branch. Yeah, we will do it that way. So I'm going to create a new branch, and I'm going to label this branch CSS edits. We'll do all lowercase. And I'm going to put my name right there, CSS edits Tom. I don't really need to do that. Okay, now you see it's changed down here. I'm working on CSS edits Tom. I can now go and change these files, and I will be changing my branch. I have not published this branch yet, which means you're not going to see it on GitHub. If I publish this branch, you can see the synchronizing happened. We just got a message in Zulip that I have changed a branch. And now I can switch back and forth between the main branch and the CSS edits branch. So check that out. If I want to go back to the main files, I would switch back and forth here between main. I want to edit my CSS edits file or my set of code. So I'm going to close this. We're going to go into we're going to steer away from user. We're going to steer away from games for right now. I want to go into the main page for the main website. And I want to look at this code because I realize I had a hard time finding it. But we want to delete some comments here. In fact, we're gonna remove these comments right there. And we're going to remove this right there. And I'm going to add comment here. Index.css imports theme styles, because we are applying those things, and I'm going to open that and show you in just a quick second. So you can see I have some edits. I have some changes right here. Now, when I press Control S to save this file, you'll see I have source control. I have one pending change. So if we go over here, you can see this list of changes right here. Index.html has a change, and there's just a couple lines of code. This is changes in my branch. So I've just done this very quickly. Just changed the branch. Cool. So I'm going to go back and look, and I just wanted to explain this. Import CSS, the index file, the main style sheet for the main page imports the theme, the menu, and the footer style sheets from the CSS folder. So it imports these things right here into the main style sheet for the landing page. So because we've done that now, and I think we want to remove some of this stuff because it gets confusing. I was confused last time I looked at this. We also want to remove that. And we're going to save that. So now you see we have two pending changes in two files. Ta-da! So I've changed the main landing page file, index.html, and the main style sheet for that page. Those two changes are here. We're going to commit those changes. I'm getting a pop-up here that says there are no staged changes to commit. I just do it this fast way. I'm going to add a comment. Cleaned up commenting. Cleaned up comments for better code readability. And I'm going to click this checkbox right there. I want to save those commits. Now I'm going to sync changes. The sync changes is going to sync the changes to my branch. Super. So we just got another Zulip update that I've made some updates to my branch. And this is the point where I probably, I think in here I can make a pull request. But I don't like doing that because we don't want to pull here. We want to, if you want to, okay, let me stop and explain this. At this point, there are several ways to do this. Also, you can use the GitHub Desktop. You can use this extension right here, or you can go into GitHub on the website and you can make this pull request. So if you want to do it here, you would change to main. You would make a pull request from, and you would use that. The origin is CSS edits for Tom, which is a remote branch. And you would make that pull request from there. And then we would see it in GitHub. I would read your code and check and make sure there's no conflicts. We're not going to do it that way because I'm going to show you an alternate way to do that. Let's see. I want to change my start screen or sharing screen. We're going to go back to GitHub and stare at this for a minute because I want to show you some updates. See, there we go. So as we're back here in GitHub, you can see CSS edits Tom recently had 2 pushes 2 seconds ago. We can compare and do the pull request right here because I'm in main. And we can look at all the branches. We can see that there is a branch there. It's an active branch, and it's my branch. So we're going to go back to that page. Let's go check this out. Cleaned up comments for better code readability. So that was the comment I made in the file. I'm not going to add any more descriptions here because we can go back and review this. We're going to create the pull request, and the pull request means that we're requesting a reviewer pull our edits into the main branch. So if you look up here at this section at the top, right above the thing I just highlighted, there's an arrow where we're trying to pull my edits into the main branch at this point. So we're making this, we're going to create the pull request, and we're going to go with it right now. Cool. There are no conflicts with this branch. And this is the reason I wanted to show it here, because if for some reason you make your branch called CSS edits Tom, and if you spend a long time with that branch open, someone else is going to make file changes to, someone else is going to submit a pull request, and I will probably merge it. And if you don't update your branch with main, when you see these pop-ups in Zulip, your code will be old or stale. And when you try to push your code, if somebody else has already changed that, it's going to show as conflicts. And that means I have to go edit your code manually in this page right here. And I might not understand. We ran into this last summer where there were massive code, like complete restructuring of not just like functions and things, but the whole style sheet, as we were just like changing sheets around and trying to figure out how to work with the Scratch app. So that can get very complex. So I recommend you not keep your branches open very long if you're going to make updates and changes. And I will give you a quick chat about that in just a second. Or make sure that as you're developing, if you want to keep your branch open, if you're working on something like that just is a long-term feature, make sure you are syncing your branch with main frequently. You can do that through the GitHub Desktop app, or you can do that through the VS Code extension. Excuse me. So let's see. I will, and maybe that's another tutorial we can do. I can show you. I can have somebody else join me and create a new branch and push a branch in, and we can see what happens when there's a code conflict. But for now, I'm good with this review changes. I'm going to finish my review. Thanks. I'm just going to leave the comment there. Oh, no, we don't want to review. I want to approve, and I can't approve from here. So we will just go to the changes. We want to squash and merge this, which basically means we're going to we're going to add this branch to the base branch. And I usually stick with squash and merge. There we go. Now we just got excuse me, another message from Zulip that these branches were merged. Super cool. So now I've just merged them. This is my job as a reviewer to do that. And you now see this option, pull request successfully merged and closed. So the pull request, my pull request was accepted. It's closed. The branch can be safely deleted. That means we're not going to keep it open. We only wrote that branch to do some CSS edits. I just made the CSS edits to clean up comments for better readability. Now I'm going to delete that branch. Ta-da! That branch is gone. We can restore this. We can revert stuff if it goes bad. That is. I don't like to stress interns over doing that. If you're curious about using GitHub, if you want to be the code reviewer, those kind of things, please ask me. I will set this up for you. We can do some more like one-on-one type stuff if you want to feel more comfortable managing GitHub. But that's it. So now we can go look at the code. We can go to the main landing page index code style sheet. Here in GitHub, we're in the main branch. You see there are no other branches because I just deleted the CSS edits branch. You can see that the text is gone. You can see the last update was cleaned up comments for better code readability. So you can actually go through history in GitHub and you can see changes that have been made. You can go back and look, cleaned up code for better footer cleanup and API updates I made on March 17th. Site-wide CSS changes and completed the footer February 20th. And you can see that I'm the reviewer here. Brooke, or I'm the person who wrote the code here and probably submitted it. You can see Brooke's footer edits. You can see more of Brooke's work there. I think this one was probably a good one where it had some conflicts. It's not going to show us the conflicts though. Ooh. Maybe. No. Okay. But anyway, it is there. So the change worked. You can see it. And let me check and just make sure that this stuff is, okay, cool. We're still looking at it. Excellent. Juggling meeting windows and stuff. I'm going to stop sharing this. Cool. So that's it. You can do the same. You can do the same branch manipulation in GitHub Desktop if you want to download that. If you download this, if you download the zip file. Wait, let me go back. Sorry, I hate bouncing around screen to screen, but we're gonna go back. If by chance you download the zip file and work directly with the files, maybe you don't like VS Code, maybe you want to use Notepad, maybe you have like Anaconda set up or some other IDE. If you do it that way, that is perfectly fine. That is super cool. You can edit in Notepad. You can make some changes. You can do some stuff. And when you're ready to submit your code, you will come back and you will create a new branch for the code you've just changed. And that would have been a really good example. Maybe I'll come back and do it. I don't need a second person to show you a code conflict if I download zip files from before and after. I just realized that. I should have thought of that ahead of time. Anyway, if you download the zip file and work on the files you like locally yourself in whatever IDE or programming app you prefer, you would just come over here and create a new branch. and then you would upload your files here, just like you can like look at the code here. You can go into the CSS file, and you can add files. So you would go to upload, and you would drag your files or choose your files here, and then you would commit changes. We're not going to commit directly to the main branch, but you would create a new branch right there and start a pull request when you're done, which would propose changes. That's the last thing I'm going to show you. So I think I've just showed you every way possible you can get the files from here, so that you can make some edits, so you can make some changes. Just be aware that as you download this zip file today, if somebody else pushes a change and this zip file is different, and then you try to add your code to the branch, your code is old because it doesn't have the updates from the this other person, other teammate. Let's say you're coding and I'm coding, and you pull your branch down and you start working on it. And while you do that, I pull my branch down and make this quick edit and push it back and merge it back. And then you try to submit your code after my changes. It's going to show errors, and it's going to show what's called a conflict. And that's what we don't want to see, because then I have to try to figure out what your code means, and I have to try to read through it. And sometimes that means that takes like weeks of us like back and forth in Slackers, asking questions, like, hey, what did you do here? Hey, what did you do there? That kind of thing. So the best thing you can do is sync your file. Well, the best thing you can do is make your code edits quick and don't drag it out for weeks at a time. The other thing you can do is when you see these code updates in Zulip, we're going to go back to VS Code right now. Almost there. Yes, cool. All right. The other thing you can do here is, so you can see there was a code update. There was an update from the server. So if we go back to the file list, you can see this M right here. That means the file's been modified in main. My local files are not the same. If I keep writing in this, I will cause a conflict, because this is gone on the server. We saw that this is gone. So let's say I change this. Let's say I want to add this. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it autocomplete and do a primary color blue right there. And then if I want to push this, it's gonna send errors. It's gonna show a conflict. Now, I've already messed this up. There are incoming and outgoing changes. So if I were to save this and keep this and not like revert this, that would cause merge conflicts here, if that makes sense. That's basically the concept behind the merge conflict. The files on my computer are old now because I made edits in a different branch and changed it, and I haven't pulled the new code from main. And I think that's probably the best way I can explain that. So what I want to do here is I want to revert this back so that I don't see any colored changes. We're going to save that. Now you're going to notice this change. There's no changes to upload. So I can come back over here. I can sync these changes, which is just going to pull down the new code from GitHub. So now I have the correct files, all the latest updates, and I can continue to work. There's nothing to change. There's no modified files here. If I were to keep doing that and working in that modified file when I submit it to main, or when I make the pull request, especially with that specific block, if I were to change the code that was already gone, it would create a conflict. And I would have to go in and figure out what you did and make the merge, which is no fun for any of us, because it's just me asking you like 100 questions. Hope that helps. Hope that explains it. And I'm going to hop off here because I've been like streaming for too long. Oh, there's such a delay. Now I'm just checking like things. I'm streaming this through, for anybody who wants to know, I've gone into Zulip. I've opened a video chat through Jitsi, and I've added the YouTube's stream key to Jitsi so I could stream directly to the YouTube Live. Excuse me. Now I'm going to grab this YouTube Live link and I'm going to throw it in Zulip, and I'm going to let everybody go and watch this live. And if you want to put together better instructions, better help for your teammates, if you're in here and you're watching this, you all can do this yourselves. You can create a local video of you using whatever app you're using. We can like format it to clean it up, and we can put it on YouTube as a tutorial kind of thing. Just throwing that out there. I feel like that is super helpful for everyone who's questioning, and that's about it. I wanted to explain the process. This is super easy. Although Jitsi is, well, Jitsi, YouTube is saying that the Jitsi bit rate is low as I'm trying out these new things. All right, I'm getting off here.